Alright, so first things first, I always like to start the training with the bottom. It's the most important part of this whole fryer, is making sure that stays clean and all that good stuff. So first things first, to open it, just like that, okay? And then this side is actually very, very similar. The difference is there's only one filter area. Both of these go to the same one, okay? This button here resets the motor. You should almost never in a million years need to touch that button. And then this up here resets the electrical. There's like a little switch, see it? It resets here. I don't know if I've known anyone to ever use either of those, okay? But every now and then this can start malfunctioning. That will reset it and fix it. Same with that. If the motor sounds like there's something wrong with it, that could be it. Unfortunately, usually it is not that. It's other things that we'll get into here in a minute. So, in order to get this bad boy out, grab this guy and grab this guy, and you pull, okay? When you're doing this at night, it's gonna be extremely hot, so let's make sure we let it cool before we start doing all the taking apart and everything, okay? This is the crumb catcher. It catches the crumbs, okay? Really simple. You see where the lip is and where there isn't? The lip goes here. Cool? Really simple there. And then this is a little hot, so you're gonna watch me. I might need the gloves. But here's a really important piece right here. This can only be cleaned by capable adults, okay? There's a little black rubber band in here. See that?
Yep.
That can come off pretty easily. Thank you very much. That can come off pretty easily. I'm not saying it just comes right out, but we've watched videos of kids at night just, whipping in the sink and all that. When this comes out, this is useless, and it's 600 bucks. This piece is 600. And some of you are probably pretty handy and thinking I can just go buy this at Ace. We can't. This is under warranty. If we try to fix this ourselves in any way, warranty goes away. Okay? So this piece is actually a lot of the time when the oil, and we'll get there, comes up slowly, it's usually because we forgot to take this out in the morning or at night and clean it. It gets really grit and grimy because this is where the oil comes through this, and if it's clogged, it's gonna go real slow. Again, I don't recommend letting the night, depending on who is the closers. A lot of time we have younger kids at night, but every now and then we have some really capable people at night that you can trust with this, okay? So just keep in mind with this, okay? Yeah, that's why I really suggested being a morning person, but hey, you never know. So, this is also pretty simple here. It's gonna look odd because it's hot and I'm trying to avoid getting burned. You just turn this to loosen it up. Going the right way, yes. See how this is the part moving? That's what you actually want to do to loosen it, is make sure that's moving here. You loosen it, and it does just come right off. And voila. That should be good. Yep, comes right off. I don't want to waste the filter because we all know bundle supplies are tough to get these days. But as you see, it's folded down. This folded down extra flap is what goes on this. Does that make sense? You take this off, put the new one on where the hole is, and you put it back on. Pretty simple? Okay, cool. Any questions so far?
I've actually used these before.
Oh, cool, fantastic. So if I'm saying something wrong, feel free to correct me.
Yeah, I worked for KFC and we used these. They were a little bit taller though, because we did like a bunch.
Oh,
each
absolutely.
load at once. But,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm definitely familiar with these.
So obviously make sure this goes right into that little piece there. I always do this. Don't forget the crumb catcher. So, you guys a big chicken store? Sell a lot of chicken?
Oh yeah.
You might have to do this middle of the day. You generally only have to do the changing of the filter once at night.
Yeah, like with the old fryers, we did every 5 fryers we got a filter.
It's not like that at all.
Okay.
You should, if you have to do an extra one, that's it. You should only have to do one in the afternoon and one at night. Quite frankly, some days you can get away with doing just once at night.
Okay.
Never ever let this go a whole night just sitting here without being changed. Oil gets cold, it gets nasty, it gets grimy. We all know when oil's cold, don't come up. So if you have an old nasty filter that didn't get cleaned, it's just sitting in there, and then you turn it on in the morning and it's like can't heat.
Yep.
All that stuff happens. This is the most important thing to make sure it stays clean. Okay? Don't ever put your hands in there, but it never hurts to look to see if there's something stuck. But never, if you can't reach it, don't. Okay? try to maybe use the little tools that are given. There's one behind, or there's a little pole that's been given to you guys. I think it's over. Yep, those two. Perfect. This is to clean, and this is also to help like retrieve stuff. Okay. So.
Is that screw supposed to be sitting in there?
Nope. Okay, we're gonna have to edit that out. Just kidding. This back here is the the sensor, if you will, that lets it know when oil is in or out of here. I hate to say it, this has probably been the #1 culprit of issues, especially right away in the beginning. Sometimes these aren't tightened well enough, so we're going to see today if that's the issue or not. A lot of times it'll say pan not empty. That usually means this sensor is malfunctioning. There's also another sensor that it's ironic because you want to make sure you get it in there firmly, but if we keep jamming this too hard, way too much before shutting it like a door, it'll also start bending and malfunctioning a sensor we can't see, and that'll indicate pan not in place. So anyway, to get this back into place, make sure we just like this. So this goes right in there. There is no real satisfying like click. Just make sure it's in there. You don't have to do it too tight. Again, don't push too hard. Now, we have had people get called in to fix fryers because people have it like that. When these doors are not shut, this will not work. So there's been times people have just come in and
Oh wow.
yeah, it's happened.
Perfect.
So just make sure, this one's a little bit, I'm sure it'll get loosened up, but it's a little snug or tight, but just make sure these are shut, okay?
Okay, so in that same door, what's this?
That is nothing you need to worry about.
Okay.
Yep, nothing you need to worry about. If you look through the manual, which I suggest all you guys do, you will see the things that, I'm just gonna say, I might not be talking about because it's not relevant to you guys.
Okay.
Like if that ever breaks or malfunctions, you don't have to worry about it, you just call it in.
Okay.
But this is literally nothing that you need to worry about. But you can find out in the manual exactly what it does. Okay, that is enough with the bottom there. Everyone, does that make sense? Everyone pretty simple. I can tell you if you do have a busy day, Fridays, Saturdays, don't like, oh, maybe we can make it at night, change it middle of the day. It's not worth it because at night it's all nasty, like real bad. It'll start slowing down on you if it's too nasty in there.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're gonna go to the top here. As you can see, there's two different pans, or trays if you will. This is for your 8-piece and your drums, okay? These are for everything else. Your wedges, egg rolls, mozzarella sticks, you name it. Tenders, wings, big ones. Every morning, when you turn this bad boy on, make sure you put these in there. Get them nice and seasoned. And, well, yes, that too would help with that. Get them seasoned. If you don't do that, the first couple batches, they're going to be sticky. They're going to stick to there, and you don't want that. As you see here, there's 5. We only use the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 lid.
Yep.
Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4 lid. A lot of people have tried using the top, and then it's bobbing for chicken. And it's easy to forget that, especially if you're going fast at first. I've done it. I've been frying with someone one day because it was me and one other person in training, and I did it. I literally couldn't believe I did it, but I did it. So it can happen, so just keep watching as you're training people how to do it. But yeah, that's the lid. This is pretty easy to move. I don't know, some hydraulic system where it kind of just goes with the momentum. So you don't have to worry about that. Don't grab here and push hard. I do that all the time too in an accident. That can break it too, just right here. To grab these off is this tool here. So they did make some of this stuff pretty easy. I'm pretty good at it now, where you just see that, pretty easy. I can tell you it's not easy at first. It feels really uncomfortable. You can't fully do this. The whole thing will fall. When you're trying to dump off like tenders into that big chicken, wherever that is, you kind of just gotta do one of these. That's why you make sure they're not sticky. Otherwise you're like trying to get it off, looking all awkward and stuff. So, put this back on there. Alright, so now that we talked about the top, we talked about the bottom, we're going to have fun here and talk about the electrical panels, if you will. I need you guys to open your minds and think there's an automatic side of this, and then there's a manual side of this, okay? This is where that's going to come in handy, because the manual side is super annoying. and it's easy to forget because you just. So what's cool about these is every time you do an 8-piece, it automatically filters for you. Every time. Anytime you do 3 of anything else, it'll automatically filter for you. It is smart enough to know if you do tenders and then do 8-piece, it'll filter, right? Because every 8-piece we filter right away, so it's going to do it right away. Let's see here. It's also smart enough to not filter at the same time, because it can't. It won't let you. That would be a mess.
Yeah.
So now some of you are thinking, well, what if I put them down? If you put them down at the exact same time, and it's the same item, it will lock. It won't let you filter both, and you're gonna have to go into manual, which we're gonna show in a second, to get to how you fix that. Okay. So, but you don't really need to think like that though, because let's say you're doing 8-piece, or you're doing 8-piece, right? You're gonna bread one rack, you're gonna put it down, right? You're gonna bread another rack, you're gonna put it down. You're not gonna wait to get these both filled, put them down.
Yeah.
You want to get the chicken out right away. Unless it's a big order, which can happen. So you just gotta think in your head, you gotta keep it like a 3-minute separation to give it time to filter. Okay, now we're gonna go down here to the fun part. Okay? So, these buttons, and remember, these are identical, just FYI. Oh, I'm so sorry, we're gonna go up here real quick. A lot of times when I show like this, people think one side's one and one side's the other. Not like that. You can do 8 pieces on both sides. You can do tenders on both sides. I just do this to show. So, sorry about that. So let's get back down here. These 2 buttons are your power buttons. Okay? This P stands for please don't touch. Kidding. It stands for programming. You don't need it. Okay? These are also your back buttons. So if you ever get into a setting where you're like, oh, how do I get out of this? Just boop, turn it on and off like an N64 or Game Boy Advance. Back in the day, that's how you get things fixed. So you turn it off, turn it back on. That's the back button. This is temperature button, right? Thermometer. All it does is tells you what the temperature is right here. I believe we need to get to 350, 349, something like that. So we have a little bit to go, but it doesn't take that long. This button, unless it's that time of the day, does nothing. Okay? It's literally nothing. It's not programmed to do anything. All right. This right here is your filtering button. It also is a lot of other things, and you're going to see here in a minute. We're going to start with what these all mean. You might think, hey Kev, it's probably just what's written there, right? Nope, that's too sorry. This is actually 8-piece. Woo! Win there, right? This is all your little things. Like egg rolls, wontons, your mozzarella sticks, cheese curds, things like that. 3 and 4 out the door. We don't use them. Okay? 5 is quick cook. That is actually correct. So let's say you whip this bad boy up and you check the temp. Always make sure you check it on the bottom, on the small piece, because it'll be the hottest. And it's not right. As soon as it's done filtering, you click that quick cook button, put it back down. It's 1 minute. Okay? 6 is for everything else that's big, our wings, bone-in, boneless, and tenders. Okay? I can tell you when the tenders come in real big and you can only fit like 5 to a tray, you might need that quick cook more often than I'd like to admit. Okay? Let's see, 7 and 8 and 9 are nothing when it comes to cooking. Okay? So, you see where it says yes and no? This is yes and this is no. I have to say that because the Y, when it asks you a question, is right here, and the N is right here. So the one time I did not say that, the whole entire time someone's just, why isn't it working? So I know it sounds like I'm talking to you like a little kid, but I'm not. It's the real struggle here. So yes and no. Okay, so now we're going to talk about filtering for fun. So in this automatic mode, you can click here to do a quick filter. So you won't need this that often because it filters automatically. However, every now and then someone forgets to put the lid on. Every now and then something does fall in. You need to do a quick filter to get that out. Okay? And then we say, let's yes or no, right? Always answer the question, yes or no. We're going to say no. See, I almost did it. Daily filter. This is the filter you do at night. Okay? The quick filter is about a minute. I actually think it's 30 seconds. The daily filter is a 10-minute long filter. So what does that do for you guys? So you hit that daily filter, you say yes, it goes down. This is empty for 10 whole minutes. You take that scrubby. Yep. Quite frankly, if you need that too, you take this, you get in there, get all the big pieces, get something that's not going to burn you, make sure you're wiping this down. I've seen stores that have had this for a week and it's the most filthy thing, and we have stores that have had this for 2 years, and you walk in, it looks like this because they're cleaning it as much as possible. I know on some days that's annoying, but trust me, the more you clean, the better. So in between that daily filter, they really need to get in there, okay? And they have 10 minutes to get everything they need to get in. Get these come right off. Probably should have did this too on the. Woo! Real simple. It doesn't look like it works, right? It's like, how does that work? But it does. So, as that's down there, you're cleaning that. Then you do this one, right? Daily filter, and then you clean the bottom. Make sense?
Yep.
Fantastic. So that's the automatic side of things. Okay, this is where it gets confusing. But since you're recording, I feel more confident. So let's pretend for some reason you can't get the oil to go down. It won't filter for some reason. Sometimes when that piece especially is really grook and grimy and it's so slow, it will fail. Like, hey, and you just need to get it down. We have to get it down. So you're gonna turn this off, turn it back on. Is the vat full? Yes. Okay. The reason I did that is because you don't have to be on to go to this manual mode, if you will. Okay. The manual mode, you just hold this down at any time. You're in fryer control. That's what you want to be in. To get it down, you click number 1 after you get to fryer control, and you say, it's asking you to drain, toggle open, you say yes. And now you're gonna watch how awesome it goes down, how fast it goes down, and it is going down. If you guys look, there's that little bobber piece in the back. You just watch when the oil goes down. You're gonna see it kind of open up. See that? That's also the jib, if you will. Sometimes you're gonna see a thing that says check jib. There's 3 things it could mean. There's something stuck in between. 2, it's actually malfunctioning, it's broken. Or 3, there's not enough oil in here. You gotta get it to that oil level. You see that? You gotta make sure oil's at the oil level mark. You don't have to worry too much when it says check jib. Usually you'll notice, oh yeah, I'm a little low on oil. Just click on and off, it'll be fine. So, and if you look at these 2 metal prongs here, see them? Yep. Those are your heat sensors. So, when the heat is still working down here, the pilot light, but still says heat failure, it usually means there's a malfunction with the sensors. Nothing you can do, you gotta call it in. Okay, now you're like, Kev, I need my oil back up, dude. How do I get this oil back up? So, you're gonna say toggle close, yes. So now it's closed. So you're gonna turn it off, right? We gotta get back. You can turn it back on, or you can just hold the button down. We're at fryer control again. Kevin, I need my oil up, people need chicken. You click this button, L for love. Click yes, because that's what you want. And it's coming up. Super fun.
Quick.
Yep. This is where people lose it because you don't need to do this that much, right? This should only be in a worst case scenario. So it's like they call, they don't know what they're doing because I trained them 3 weeks ago. They don't remember. Even you can't read it on paper always. I'm not a paper person. Now you got it on here. And that's almost everything. We're almost there, guys. So once this is done, I'm actually gonna turn this on just so it gets hot for you guys.
So whatever oil's in there up to that oil level, will that level always stays the same when you drain it and bring it back up?
There's
Or
lots
do we
of.
have to add?
You shouldn't. So real quick before I answer your question, you see how it's bubbling? Because it's in manual. It's still trying to push stuff up. Hey, dude, we're done. So you click toggle off. Yes. Now you want to go back to being in automatic mode, so you turn them off, turn it back on. Is the vat full? Yes. If you ever have answer no to that, it's going to shut off on you. Which is why you don't have to be in, you have to be on to go to manual mode. To answer your question, there's lots of reasons oil slips throughout the day, actually going into the product. The filter, it doesn't always let it all back up. You don't have to be so diligent, but if it does get too deep, yes, now we're not probably having the right amount of oil in. Whenever I fill the oil up, it usually starts with cold oil, so I put it that's a little too low, I put it just under the oil level, because as it heats, it expands. But yes, throughout the day you're gonna maybe have to add some, but it shouldn't be like every time I fry I gotta add oil. It's not like that. You'll notice as soon as it checks jib, that's kind of like a, oh shoot, yeah, it is pretty low. Boom, fill it back up a little bit. Okay. So here, I don't think RTI is hooked up yet. So this is another reason why I have you recording, because you won't be able to do this. When we dispose of oil, it's usually a week or 2 weeks, right? If you're high volume, you probably do it weekly. If you're low volume, you probably do it bi-weekly, right? So to actually dispose of the oil, this does it for you. It'll get rid of it. And then you add, to get it back up, you're gonna use the gun to get more oil back in there, right? So to actually dispose, I'm gonna show you how to do it. It's really annoying, it's a two-parter. So, it might not let me do it while it's heating though. It might be hot enough. It doesn't like to move the oil if it doesn't have to when it's not hot enough, because you can't move cold oil. So let's see if it works. So to dispose, quick filter, no. Daily filter, no. Would you like to dispose? I'm actually gonna say yes. Now, this is where a lot of people get confused because they think this is it. This is only step one, okay? It's that dispose gets it to here, okay? Boom, 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 boom. So episode 24. Okay, now it's down there. Sweet. So now we have to actually dispose of it. So, it doesn't have to be on to get to manual, right? So we're gonna hold it down. Fryer controls manual. We gotta click it again. Think of fryer plus as actual dispose, okay? Then you're gonna click L again for love. We're gonna click it, and then okay, cool. And then you would say yes, okay? It's gonna start making this crazy noise down here, and eventually you're gonna hear a kind of like that, and that means it's gone. And then you would click it back off. So then you would fill it back up with the gun. I'm obviously not gonna click it because it will go all over the floor. So I'm just gonna get us out of here without it freaking anyone out. Now we're back off. Now turn it back on. Is the vat full? Yes, it asks questions a lot. We're gonna actually get the oil back up. So we're gonna do fryer control, L for love to get it up. Return toggle on, yes. All right, so I'm gonna ask you guys some questions. What's the power button? Perfect. Where's the filter button? The quick filter. How do you cook the large tenders and wings? Boom. What does number 3 do? Nothing. Fantastic. If you want to do a quick cook, what number is that? 5. Perfect. If you want to check what the temperature is. Okay, we're gonna walk over here because this one's ready. It might not let us do it though. Like I said, actually I'm gonna show you. It'll be really cool. Watch. Resource and use. It won't even let you get to filtering while this is still being used. So that's pretty awesome. Once that's up, I'm gonna ask just a couple more questions and then you guys are certified. Okay, so over here, if you wanted to get the oil down manually, where would you go? Well, that's where it goes, but where would you do it here? How would you do it? Go ahead, do it. Perfect. Fryer control, remember, means manual. So to get it down was 1, and to get it up was L for love. Okay? 1 down, up, L for love. Make sense?
Yep.
Now, now I'm gonna ask you another question. We're gonna go back. Remember, this is the back button too. Turn it back on. To dispose, how do you get to step 1? To dispose of the oil. It's okay. That's why I have that recorded.
All right, so you hold it down again.
You don't need to hold it down. Just click it.
Okay. And then.
Oh, pan not empty. I was waiting for this. Oh, let's try it again. Oh, pan is empty. I told you this was one of the. This is usually the first issue we have because they don't have that tightened well enough. I don't know why that happens, but it is what it is. So we'll ask him before he leaves. But normally, what you do is you click that, you get the quick filter, right?
Yeah.
Click it again, or say no, get the daily filter, and then you would get to the dispose. Okay. All right, I'm gonna talk to him real quick before he goes, and then I technically can't start frying until we get that fixed. So, but that was 99.9% of everything. Okay? Make sense?
Yep.
Pretty simple? Cool. I'm gonna be here for a little while longer just to get us going here. And I'm gonna talk to him right here and see what we can do about that. So, but that's that. Cool? Simple?
Yeah.
Woo!